Hi everyone. Excuse me. Thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So today I would like to talk about what happens before you choose yourself first. For me, I was probably a people pleaser and trying to help everybody around me, but didn't have time for myself. I've always worked really hard, and I've always tried to look out for those around me that were my neighbors, people that worked for me, people I worked with, and giving has always been just a part of my life. I'll be 62 this year, and I started my awakening around 2018. And a lot of people thought I was crazy. They couldn't understand why I was changing. They couldn't understand my connection with the divine, with our Heavenly Father, with our Creator. And if you've watched any of my previous readings, my grandparents, they tried to instill in me so much. And I've always carried some of the things that they told me with me. But I never gave my heart to the Lord. So now, going through the process, a lot of people fell to this side because I had to choose myself. I had to focus on myself. I had to learn to do for myself. And I had to do it in a right way. You know, being a single female who's at least semi-attractive, I had opportunities where I could have been with different men, and they promised me that they would do this, that, and the other, but I'm not that kind of girl, and I want to pay in the right way, you know, like financially pay for work to be done or whatnot. Now that God has tested me, and He will continue to test me to see just how I choose. And I always try to put Him first. I always try to put love first. I always try to speak to people in that manner. And sometimes the harsh truth hurts. So God has made me 3 promises. And I've been patient. And I've been doing my spiritual work. And I do my meditations. And I'm on this platform. And even before I started this platform on my Facebook page, I've been doing, posting spiritual things that are important to help people heal, to look at the day brighter than what they see it, and just to share with the world who I am at my deepest core. And now I have this platform, and although only a few look at it at this time, that's okay, because I know that God is over me. I know that He's watched me all the time. And it's like my grandma said before, whatever you do in your life, pretend someone's watching you. Because if you're alone and you have a choice to do one thing or another, it could be very easy to choose the wrong path. Because in your mind, no one's around. If, there were times where we worked for a billionaire. We thought he was just a millionaire. And he left his little money clip on his dresser or on his side table next to his bed. And it had $100 bills folded up in it. Now, we could have, or I could have, or my husband at the time could have taken it. We could have taken it apart to see how much was in there and taken one or two. Or however, nobody was around. We were doing work for him. And the thing is there isn't any amount of money that can buy my integrity, that can buy who I am. That was just an example. So far I gave you 2 examples. Was men were willing to do work for me for something else. And I said, no, I'm going to pay you with money. And I set them straight right off the bat. And then working alone, there was money laying around. We didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. He didn't touch it. And doing construction work for 10 years or so, plus or minus, there were always opportunities for us to take, but we never did. I'm sorry, I have an interruption. We even did some work for a designer in Waimanalo, and her husband was in charge of paying. Every time that we got paid, he overpaid us by at least $150. And every time we returned it, because it was the right thing to do. And so I was speaking with my sister yesterday, and she wanted to know what was happening with me. And I basically told her that I'm in touch with my daughter. We've had several conversations, and I'm looking to relocate out there where she's at. It's going to take me some time, Godspeed. God send me the angels, and it'll happen really quick maybe. But I'm going to be patient about it, and I'm going to bide my time. And my sister never even congratulated me. She never said, I'm happy for you. I don't know what that really means, but I did tell her that from the get-go when I got here, that if there's any, mishaps, purposeful problems caused, that she would never see me, and I'd walk right out of her life, and she'd never see me again. And so her and my other sister played their games with me at least 2 or 3 times, because I'm the youngest and they're older than me, and they thought it was funny. I told my sister, I said, God promised me 3 things, and God could give me more later, but he promised me 3 things. And the first thing that he gave me was my daughter back, and that I wouldn't discuss the other 2. And I told her the tarot told me that somebody's gonna die, and they don't want me to go. And I told her that I believed it was my Auntie Marchie's husband. And you know, she was like, "Why did you say him? Why are you like wishing him?" I said, "I'm not wishing anybody. I don't wish anybody to die. I'm saying the tarot told me someone's going to die. I'm not to go to their funeral." And that I believed it was my Uncle Joe. See, karma is good or bad, whatever you put out. And people really have witnessed almost instant karma when I cut them off. Because my energy is, I've always carried this energy. I just didn't know that that was like the situation. But my energy now, especially that God, I have opened my heart to Him, is really pure love. So people, when I was, interacting with them, they either hated me or they loved me. The ones that hated me thought I was weird. The ones that loved me told me that I had a great vibe, I had a great aura, I had a great essence of who I am. And so I've pretty much distanced myself from a lot of my family members, and I came here to be with them. And a little lady who was sweet as could be became my friend, and it was really hard for me to disconnect from her, because she was and she is a very sweet lady. But the thing is she wanted to keep buying me these little dinners when we would go pick up her son. And I told her that's not right. I don't take money from old people. And that's pretty much why I said I won't be coming around anymore. I didn't tell her that was the reason. I told her that I'm leaving anyway, so why get attached? And that's partly true, because that's why I believe that I couldn't be a nurse or a caretaker of an elderly, because I would just really love being around them. And if anything ever happened to them, I think my heart would get broke. So I just told her that she needs to, spend time with her family and make memories, because we never know when God's going to call her. And I hope she understands that, I appreciated every day that I spent with her. But I can't have someone telling me that they're going to pay for something that they really, truly have a hard time paying for. And, I couldn't get involved in her family situations, because if I did and I told a whole bunch of truths, they all live on the same plot of land, and it could become very miserable, maybe for her or someone else. And it was just not my place. And so now that I've given myself to the Lord, there's still two things that He promised me. And I'm not sure when He's going to give them to me, but I'm going to wait patiently, and I'm going to keep doing my work. And I'm going to be thanking God every day. And I'm going to thank God for my dog. I'm going to thank God for providing for me everything. The roof over my head, the money in my pocket, the food in my fridge. And I'm going to make the best of the days to come. And so I'm going to be very excited to see my daughter. But I don't really want to be there too much because she's got to live her life. I just want to be available for her and maybe help her do some things and maybe cook some of those special meals that she used to love and just spend time with her. But God has bigger things for me and my daughter. He has bigger things. So she's not awake yet. And through the divorce with her father, she was going to a Christian school, and they actually taught her sign language. So all the kids would be up on, in the auditorium up on stage, and they'd be singing a song and moving their arms and hands to simulate the sign language. It was so beautiful. And through the divorce, her dad decided that he was going to start going to church, and he would make her sing a happy birthday to Jesus every year. And because he was forcing it upon her, was probably one of the reasons why she doesn't want to believe. The other thing is she used to tell me that she would pray that she could come and live with me. And well, it happened her senior year. So the only thing I could do is let her be with me when we see the signs. Let her see it for herself and not push it down her throat, and just to love her. So, because I was going through so much turmoil, God separated us. And my daughter was going through turmoil of her own. And I received a couple signs that she was saying that she missed me. And then I decided to then verify her. And well, that's how we started talking. And no matter what's happened in the past, I am committed to regaining our standing together as mother and daughter. And I hope and pray that God intervenes in her heart. And I know He will. My daughter's very special. You see, she's a seer. And in 2014, she painted a picture of a girl with short hair holding a knife, and she painted like the blade, the look of a blade swinging, like whether swinging from the right way in or from the inside right out. But she's a pretty good artist, and I asked her, I said, well, why is there blood all over the painting? Because she put blood marks, but it was in like blue and purple and orange and yellow. And she just shrugged her shoulders. And I was like, what? Why are you drawing this? And or painting it. She's like, I don't know. So I thought it was her. And she also had a little angel, like a little fairy that came out of nowhere. So like in the cartoons when the Roadrunner moves and there's like that puff of dust. So that's what it had. And that was 2014. Well, in 2018, that was me. And my second husband had brought me so low that he always kept the living room dark because it was wooden shutters. And I always stayed in the bedroom where it had glass shutters. And it was always bright, of course, except for nighttime. And I had the devil on my left shoulder that was there and then gone with the sound in my mind, poof. I'd say, go in the kitchen and get the 2 biggest knives and just cut them up. You'll feel so much better. And I stood there frozen, and I looked over at him, and he was sitting on the sofa with the TV behind me. He was drinking his beer and watching TV, and I probably was frozen there for at least 15 seconds. He never even asked me. It's like the devil put him in a place where I really could go in the kitchen and get the knives and just start cutting them without him being able to react. On my right shoulder, the same thing. Something was on my shoulder, poof, it was gone. It said, go for a walk. And it sounded like my mom. And God divinely walked me out of his life. But here I am, 6 years later, 5.5 years later. And I look back 5 years where I was. And I can't help but to thank God. Anything could have happened. That's when I began my awakening. So now, we're all tested in different ways, and we all have to think about our choices. We all have to thank God for our experiences here on this earth. And if there were bad experiences, we still have to thank Him and take it as a lesson learned you'll never do again. My lesson on that day was, I will never put myself in a predicament that tells me to kill somebody. I will walk away from anybody who thinks they can control me or hurt me or be abusive to me or talk nasty to me. So it's a lesson learned. My future, I'm going to be 62 this year. God said, if you leave Him, I will give you all the years back. People think I'm like 43. And I'm still strong. I'm Philippine, so the Filipinos, when they get old, they shrink. I haven't shrunk an inch. I'm still strong. I know I could pick up 200 pounds right now without even thinking about it. And I gotta rebuild my strength. I gotta get myself back in shape, because since 2018, 2019, I stopped doing that physical work. And that was part of what kept me in good shape, you know. And my future is bright. My future, I have a lot of hope for my future. I have a lot of things to talk to my daughter about that she never knew. And maybe she'll understand me a little better. And it's going to be so great to have a mother-daughter relationship. You see, when my daughter was with me, her senior year, you know, we had situations, and I was like, you know, I said, I don't know what it's like to be you with your mother talking to you. I said, I didn't get that. My mom died when I was 12 years old, 11 gonna be 12. But spiritually, I know that mom's always with me. And I know that because I'm on this divine path, because I stand alone, that the karma is real for those people who deliberately tried to hurt me. And it's not like I asked God for that. I don't really like seeing anybody hurt. That's because I've been hurt so much. But I have to give it to God and let His will be done. And I have to do this path, the path that I love so much. I love this path that God has for me. This is my life. This is my life I share with you. So you can see that I'm a testimony to God's love, to God's grace, to God's provisions. It's only by God that I'm going to be 62, but it's like 17 or 18 or 20 years have been taken out of my life. And I want you all to know out there that you can do better. You can do more if you just help one person at a time. If you're just walking down the street and, you know, in Honolulu, it's a metropolitan city, you know, it's a big city. And whenever I would walk, I would greet people and say hello. And then there were like older, like in their 70s, maybe older, Asian people waiting for the bus stop, and at Christmas time I tell them Merry Christmas. Those were the days when I was growing up, when I was young. That's what we were taught to do in our small little town. And so I say, if you live in a big city, you can still do it there too. So I'm here to tell you that I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here talking about different situations and how they were handled, good or bad, and what lessons I learned. Because at 60-something, if you're not learning, you might as well be dying. And I'm not ready to die. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving. There's so much that I would love to see still. And I don't want to give up on any of my dreams. And if you're older than me, you can still dream. You can still have ambitions. You can still have desires to do and see new things, do different things. And if you're younger than me, you definitely have time, but whatever it is that you're seeking is seeking you. So reach out and grab it. Take a hold of life. Enjoy every day and be kind every day. And remember, treat yourself as if someone's watching you, because someone is. God is watching you. I hope that whatever it is, that you're able to take something away from this message and cherish it and work on it for yourself. Start with thanking God. Start with being thankful for the little things. Don't waste. Try your best not to litter. Try to keep your house clean. Try to keep yourself clean, mind, body, and soul. Open your heart to God, because God is real. And if we are truly in the last days, God is the only way. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you. Take care. See you the next time.